Hey YouTube, it's Kriss and Ty.
We're back. I'm back on this channel, y'all.
Oh my god, he's back again. So today we're going to be talking about long distance relationships.
And how much they suck.
Okay,
because they suck.
We've got a lot of questions about, how we handled our long distance relationship because it was 5 years long.
Way too long.
Yes, it was way too long.
Way too long.
So many of you wanted to know what we did and how we kind of got through it, and some advice on how you can make long distance relationships work.
That's right. It works. It works. It works. It takes a little bit of extra effort, a little bit of extra time. We figured it out though.
So I was the one that had to move away. My parents, my dad got a job transfer, so my family had to move away. And it was very hard. Okay.
It was horrible.
It was a mess. Like, I cried so much. I was just a mess. I had snot.
All right. Yeah, I was going to say, she's being really polite. She was crying. She was snotting. It was rough. And saying goodbye is never easy. It's never easy. I did cry. I'm not going to say I didn't cry. What am I not going to say? I cried.
We tried our best to prevent it as much as we could, but we lost that battle.
We lost. We lost. Everybody that knows me, knows our contest. I'm used to losing. All right, so saying goodbye is never easy. All right, so there's no real advice that we could give you on how to say goodbye better than we did, at least. All right, look, it's going to be ugly, okay? It's going to be bad. There's going to be tears. Things are going to happen, all right? The only advice we could say is that work together before you guys say goodbye. And even though it's not really goodbye, see you in a little bit. But before that happens, make sure you guys have a plan on what you're going to do next. It's important that once one person moves away, that you guys got a plan to get back together. I mean, that's the whole point, is to try to figure that part of it out.
One of the biggest adjustments we had to make was going from seeing each other every single day after school to not seeing each other at all.
That's right.
And having to depend on the phone as our sole source of communication.
It's so hard because she got a fly voice, okay? She got a great voice. I love her voice, okay? It's exciting every time I hear the phone ring. I answer it up. It's her, okay? I love her voice.
Okay, you know what?
I'm not gonna lie, but it was hard not to see her. It was hard not to see her. It was very challenging.
We feel as though it's very important to make sure that you're still communicating, even though you're not seeing each other.
Right.
So use your resources, Skype.
Yeah.
The phone.
All right. So first of all, this was pre-Skype. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I want everybody to know this is pre-Skype. There wasn't no Skype.
No, there was no Skype. So we actually ended up finding this thing called G-Phone back in the day.
It was just like a voice over IP service, but there was no Skype.
No.
We had no Skype, no visuals, just us on the phone all night long. Okay. So it's important you carve out time for each other. All right. Don't lose the spark that you have. Keep it going.
Okay, so we faced a lot of challenges being in a long-distance relationship.
We were young, all right? We were young.
He worked. He started working. I started working with my mom, so our schedules were not matching up at all.
No.
So, all we had was the phone, and once our schedule started, getting in the way, we talked less. Because we were talking less, we started arguing more when we were talking. It was just a mess, okay? So
I was cranky. I was cranky.
He was cranky and tired.
Look, it took me a while to find a gig because I was devastated. I'm not gonna lie. Devastation hit me when she moved away. So it took me a while to find a gig. So I settled for a gig. I started working 50 hours a week. Now I'm tired. Okay?
Yeah, he was tired.
Now I'm tired.
I was tired, and we did not have the energy to talk on the phone like we wanted to. So
and you would think that it's a long distance relationship. How much energy do you need? I'll tell you what, you need a lot, okay? You need a lot. Because you got to get through the days of wanting to be with somebody that you just can't be with at that moment. It's very difficult to accept. It's taxing mentally.
So another challenge we had was money. Okay, so we were trying to save up money to visit each other.
Well, we tried to build a future. We're trying to build a future, but unfortunately, all our money went to go have these visits.
Exactly. We spent a lot of money on traveling.
That's right.
Our cars were just beat up constantly because, 600-mile drive back. 600 Yeah, so, our cars just got totally beat up and we were just wasting our money.
All right, so obviously we had some struggles. Okay, we had some struggles. Cars gave us a hard time. Money was a problem. All right, but the most important thing is, if you're in a long-distance relationship, is that you're taking the steps to end it, okay?
Right.
Then when I say end it, I don't mean break up, right? I mean transition from a long-distance relationship.
Yes.
To a close relationship, okay? To back where you guys are together.
Right.
So you got to take steps to get there.
So when we finally did see each other, we really tried to make the most out of that time. Yeah. And, kind of get caught up on everything. We didn't argue, when we actually saw each other. It was just on the phone.
Yeah.
So, that kind of reassured us that, everything was going to be okay and that,
That's how it was supposed to be.
Exactly.
Okay, that's how it was supposed to be. We weren't supposed to be apart.
No.
All right?
So.
I'll tell you, you see one of our other videos, The Art of War. This is where the revenge hang-up started, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
It was a long-distance relationship. Long-distance relationship, revenge hang-up, we was hanging up on each other. So that was real.
Okay.
That was real, yeah.
Right. But again, once we actually got a chance to see each other and talk, make out a little bit.
Yeah.
All that calmed down, and we were able to remember the reasons why we loved each other so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. So speaking of visits, all right, let me tell you about this one visit that I had, okay? So I decide on her birthday, I'm going to drive through the night, right? I'm going to leave my house like midnight, and I'm going to fly up there. It wasn't really flying, but I drove like 100 miles an hour. All right, so I'm going to get up there, and I'm going to surprise her in the morning. So I get to the front door. I'm going to keep it brief. I get to the front door, I knock on the door, all right? And somebody comes and opens up the door, and I'm there with flowers and a teddy bear, okay? Now, that shouldn't surprise any of you.
Another teddy bear.
But I was there with flowers and a teddy bear. And I'm like, yeah, is Crystal home? And of course she's home. Of course she's home. I knew she was going to be home. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I arrived before breakfast. So this person goes upstairs to let her know that I've arrived and she has a visitor.
Oh my gosh.
3 hours later, okay, she comes downstairs. She comes downstairs, and her makeup's done, and her hair is done, and her edges are broken. But she comes downstairs, okay? This is back before she was natural, okay? She comes downstairs, and I finally get to see what I've driven through the night for and sat on the couch for 3 hours.
He is wrong, okay? It was not 3 hours. I saw that he pulled up, so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a mess. So I jumped in the shower, and I wanted to make sure I looked nice for him, okay?
Sure.
There's nothing wrong with that.
She did. She did. 3 hours later, she looked.
It was not 3 hours later, okay? Another thing that helped us get through was praying, okay? Like, we prayed a lot during the entire 5 years of, the long-distance relationship. And we just knew that God knew our hearts in the end. And we would be able to get married one day and have kids and stuff like that.
That's right. I was ready to get to the kid having, okay? At least the practicing. I want to get to some of the practicing.
Anyways.
All right, so after all that and after all our experiences, all right, we learned a few things. We learned a few things. Commit and be decisive. Be decisive in your commitment. Either you got to be in it or get out of it. One or the other. But know that you guys either want to stay together or you don't. And have that conversation prior to the move.
You have to trust each other.
Yeah.
If you decided to stay in the long-distance relationship, you need to know that the other person is going to stick in it with you. Try not to freak out over everything. Especially if you're working 2 different schedules and somebody's late on a phone call. Don't be bugging out thinking that something's happening or anything like that. Yeah. So, trust each other.
I wonder why he's tired all the time. He's sleeping a lot.
It helps to be open with each other and talk about things that may happen.
Yeah.
If somebody's pursuing you or anything like that, it's good to go to the person and let them know what's going on. And if you're having any doubts in the relationship because, you might be fighting or arguing or you might be just nervous about the outcome, it's good to talk about it with each other.
Absolutely. That's big. It's being able to just have a real conversation on how you're feeling about the relationship and about each other. Nothing to be afraid of. Just keep it real. That way there's no surprises. All right, so the important part of strengthening your trust is to make sure that each other know how you feel about each other. All right, now I don't know if I said that right. Said each other twice, all right? But at the end of the day, it's important that you know how I feel about you, okay? And it's important I know how you feel about me. So that being said, we should talk about it. You should tell me, you should confess your love for me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you the opportunity to do so right now.
I love you.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
There it is.
You're not putting that in there. We're going to do that.
All right. And you know what? I feel the same way. Okay? I feel the same way. I love her too. All right. So it's important that you both know how you feel about each other. And you spend at least a little bit of time each day letting them know. Especially along this relationship. Because sometimes I just need to hear it. It's like that Robin Thicke song.
Okay.
I just need to hear it. I'm lost without you, girl.
Okay, so that's all we have on long distance relationships. We know that it's tough, and just know that if you have your goal set in mind, work towards your goal. Don't forget to stay prayerful, in the situation. Even though it's tough, prayer works, and prayer can change the situation. All right, so just try your best to keep moving forward, and we will see you all very soon in another video. Take care.